All right, hey guys, welcome back to the channel, Wilder Hanson Adventure. We did a thing. We celebrated Patrick's 40th birthday.
Oh yeah, old man status.
Old man status. We went to Hot Springs Offroad Park. So we took all the Jeeps. We got both the Gladiators. We had Beast the 392, and we had No Name the XJ.
Yeah, you're right. Still, he is fighting tooth and nail on that.
Yeah, it's No Name now. I done named it. So, anywho, this video we'd like to just talk about basically Hot Springs Offroad Park and the weekend.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys want to start with?
I say highly recommend it. I had a lot of fun.
Okay, we liked it.
Well, let's see. We got up there, what, that Friday?
Friday, roughly 4 or 5 o'clock is when we got there. Yeah.
Not a bad drive. Pretty easy to find.
Well,
No, it's not.
not really. Not right this. Well, actually, at the time of the filming of this, they may have that.
Bye.
It's going to be a lot easier to find for people going now-ish forward because they're putting the new highway in, and they're going to have the off-ramp right there.
Yep.
Like
The exit,
quarter to half mile from it.
The exit is literally a half mile from the park.
The park entrance. So
Yep.
yeah, that's going to make life so much easier. So yeah, the highway will be about a half mile from the entrance to the park, which is going to make it super nice. You won't have to go through all of the neighborhood type areas that you do right now.
Yeah.
So I'm actually looking forward to that.
Yeah. One of the things, it's a beautiful park. It really is. All the trails are absolutely beautiful. They got a lot of them cut really well. I mean, trail number 5 or highway number 5,
Road 5.
road 5, whatever they call it.
It felt like a trail in some
It
spots.
really did. It felt
It
like
did.
a trail. But for the most part, the rest of the park was super nice. The cabins, we actually stayed in one of the cabins.
Yeah,
It was actually
We stayed in duplex right.
duplex, right? And it was super nice. It really was. They have a brand new parking lot. For those of you that might have been there before, it was just the original parking lot there, and the camping spots were all just as you pulled in. They actually have a whole nother parking spot with another pond back behind the office that goes up and around.
That's right. Conveniently next to the shower houses. They
Yeah.
air up, air down.
Yep, they had an air up, air down station.
Which is nice for those who want to air down but don't have onboard air or
Yes.
power tanks or
Yes.
Ryobi inflators, because we don't talk about none of them other dirty brands.
And if you're going to run into town, grab something to eat, at the end of the trail for
Yep.
the day, take your family out before you come back to camp. You have the station right there. It's free of charge. It's
Yep.
very nice.
But yeah, I mean, they had like 4 little deals there. You just start going. So one of the biggest things about this park, and I've actually been there several times. First time I went was a little over 10 years ago. I lied, probably a little over 15 years ago now. Nonetheless, the trails, not a whole lot's changed. Again, they're all still pretty trails, is the pricing.
Yeah.
The pricing, in my honest opinion, is absolutely ridiculous to the point that I will probably not be going back. So it's $40 a day per vehicle, and it doesn't matter how many people are in the vehicle, but it's $40 a day per vehicle. Now, mind you, me and my wife took each of our Jeeps, so that's $80 a day. Now,
Yeah, and then we took,
yeah, they had 2, which they had Uriah's and his. So that would have been another $80.
just for our little group
Just-
to go, is $160 a
Yep.
day to be on the trails.
For one day. Now, we got there at 4 o'clock. We had everything set up at 5 o'clock. We still had plenty of light to go. And I went and asked him, I said, hey, can we pay like a half rate or a partial rate or pro rate, something like that, and just go do a couple trails at the end of the day? Because the next day was supposed to rain, so we wanted to go do fun run while it was still dry. And she's like, no, absolutely not. We can't do that. And I'm like, do you sell a weekend pass then? Oh, no weekend pass, $40 per vehicle, period. Absolutely no leeway whatsoever. And that really put me down right there on it.
And I will say, I don't honestly remember. So when we first got our trucks, after I got my new wheels and tires and stuff, we went up. Me and the wife and the kids, we all went up for a day just to wheel and do some stuff. And that was in 2021.
Well, we got them September of 21, so it was
Yeah,
either
'cause
end
we
of
went in
21 or
December. We went in December.
Yeah, it'd been December
So
21.
December of 21, it was $25 a day, which that's a whole lot easier to swallow, especially if you're paying for 4 hours.
Yeah.
You know. 'Cause
But, yeah, not even a partial. We're at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And then even like the Sunday, we were supposed to leave on Sunday, but shoot, it'd have been nice to go out there from like 9 a.m. till noon when we left, not just sit in the cabin and stare at each other, which, I mean, we packed everything up, blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, hell, to go out and do a couple trips. But no, they wanted another $80 for each of us, so $160 for all 4 of us to go out there.
Yeah.
That was the only, if you couldn't tell, that was my big draw of Hot Springs Offroad Park. And with that, I probably won't be going back unless someone else wants to go do the badges of honor and they need a lead or a tail.
Yeah.
That would be the only reason I would go.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I've done all of the ones there I wanted to do anyway. And for where we're at, we have enough trails within an hour that we can go do that. Really going to the off-road park, the big pull for that was the Trails of Honor.
Yeah,
Our
it really
badges
was.
of honor.
It really was.
So yeah, one of the other things that for some of you may be a big deal, especially with the 4XEs becoming a big deal, they actually have one of a limit, I'm gonna just say a limited number because I don't know. They have an actual Jeep charging station there.
Yeah, it's cool. It's got the little solar panel.
Yeah, and it follows
Yeah,
everything.
with the head of the, yeah. It was pretty
cool.
neat. It was really neat.
And
It was.
that is a perk because, you know, there's not, but I'd say a handful, but that's a gross underestimation. But we'll say there's 500 off-road parks across the country, and maybe a quarter of them have it. Maybe.
I don't even think there's that many.
I know, like
It's kind of
Moab. You know, some of your bigger.
I'll have the
names
numbers on the screen. I'll look up some numbers.
All right, but like you
You're
know,
the numbers guy.
Moab, that's a big name.
Yes.
You would expect it at the big names.
I think they actually have 2 there.
Right.
It was kind of nice to see it at our little hole in the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our local, it didn't take us no time to get there. It gave us a little sense of hometown pride.
4
Well, I mean,
hours.
3.
Well,
4 for me.
I've driven way farther for less.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's 3 hours from mine, 4 from yours.
Yeah, it's located just about in the center
Yeah,
of
the Okies
Arkansas.
are.
Okay, so at the Hot Springs Offroad Park, they actually have 3 badges of honor. Okay, so you have the Rubicon Ridge, which is one of the big trails that actually runs along the ridge of the mountain of the park, but it runs almost the full length of the park. They have Fun Run, which is at the very north side. It's a real short, zigzaggy, but it's a lot of up and down. But then they have Snake. Snake is the easiest of the 3, and it runs kind of in the middle of the park and just through all the green and everything else. So that's the 3 badges of honor that they have at the Hot Springs Offroad Park. All right, so now we're going to talk about the birthday weekend. And look who decided to join us. The other people that were there. Well, some of them.
Well, not this one.
Oh, yeah, he wasn't there. He missed a weekend, let me tell you.
And the fur kids weren't there either, but they're in the background.
Yeah. They're back there somewhere. So, anywho, birthday weekend. It's Patrick's 40th birthday. It was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun there.
Oh, yeah.
Got there that Friday evening, and man, we played, 5 or 6 games?
Well,
7 games of cornhole or whatnot.
Okay, but you're getting ahead. A little bit ahead.
A little bit ahead.
We went and ate at
Oh, yeah, we ate first.
what was that place?
Don Juan's.
Yeah, Don Juan's. Don
Yeah.
Juan's Mexican.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Which
There in Hot Springs. So that being said, the Hot Springs Offroad Park is actually roughly 15 minutes from the first part of Hot Springs, and it takes you maybe 10 minutes to go all the way across Hot Springs. That's how big it is.
Yeah.
And they have a little bit of everything.
And they do. They have a little bit of everything. Anything for anyone. Downtown Hot Springs is absolutely phenomenal. It really is cool. There is something there for everyone. The weekend we were there, though, the bikers were there, so it wasn't.
It was a little crowded. Wasn't bad. It was just a little crowded.
Right. But when we got back to the park, we figured out that it was
Women's weekend.
actually, yeah, it was Jeep ladies or.
Oh yeah, Jeep weekend. It was the women's weekend. Yeah. So it was the Jeep women's weekend. So we actually had a bunch of a group there that was all a bunch of women.
But they were wheeling for vets or something like that.
Was that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was all charity event. That's what
That was
And
cool.
they ended up giving away a Jeep to a vet. So yeah, they're veterans, and I put it in quotations because it's not just military vets, it's EMS, fire, police.
Oh, very
But-
cool.
Yeah.
Every year, I think they said they give away at least one Jeep to a vet. And then this time they raised enough that the vet's 2 kids got Jeep Power Wheels.
Oh,
Pretty
that's
awesome.
so
and they
cool.
did their
Yeah,
best.
I think
to
I remember them
They
saying
made
that
them
now.
match. So they
Yeah.
gave their
That's
children matching SUV
awesome.
Yeah, so all their
weapons.
stuff matched. That was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
But yeah, we played a buttload of cornhole with some lackluster bags.
Yeah, like half full of sand and
We
yeah, that
still-
was kind of
we
fun. Different
made-
weights.
We made a good time out
We
of
did.
it.
It was awesome.
It was awesome.
It was
And
awesome.
We did end up going and buying our own.
Yeah, we bought our own bags to go back and play cornhole with. It was
Some of us tried to switch back to the lighter ones because
Yeah.
we did better before we got regulation, but still, it was a good time was had by all.
Yeah.
so. But all in all, it was a great weekend. It was Patrick's 40th birthday. You only do it once, so we went all out. So
Yeah.
that's what we did. But that was we actually played cornhole both nights, did we?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
We
because we played.
Friday, and then Saturday we ended up going after dinner and buying some bags and a whole new cornhole set.
Of course, there was a basketball court. The
Which we
boys
played with on 4th of July too.
Yeah, we did.
So yeah, they also they got a big pavilion up there. You can play. I think they got Connect 4, like a massive
Yep.
Connect 4 thing, a volleyball net.
They have an RC park as well,
They do have an
Yes.
RC park there that we didn't partake.
Yes.
but there
But
were
they do
people
have-
there doing it. Well,
We're talking about roads.
Talking about roads.
So
I knew he'd have to go there.
they've got. I'm assuming they've got 5 of them.
There's 5 of them.
Okay, so they have trails that are skill level 1.
0.
Oh, do they have zeros?
They're zeros.
No, zeros mean you can't go on.
Okay, you're right. You're right. You're right.
So it's a 1 to 5 system, and a 1 is a hey, this is off-roading. Here you go. Road 5 is a 2.
There's 5 connecting roads. So there's road 1, which connects the whole north side of the park from east to west. 2 goes from the office up the ridge. 3 comes off of it, and 5 is the entire upper part of the ridge.
No one knows where 4 is.
It's okay. It's a mystery.
4 is actually on the other park on the other side of Mill Creek Road.
Okay. Well, let me put it this way. I thought for a few minutes when we first got on it that Matt had taken us down some wide, very well maintained as far as
Level
roads
2
go.
trail,
Yeah. And
as was prescribed to me.
so
in the truck.
he gets on the radio and he's like, this is road 5. And I'm like, okay. By the time we got done, I went to the office or the gift shop, whatever, and I asked them if they had a sticker that said, I took road 5 and survived. It was rough.
We're gonna have to make one. We're gonna have to make one.
We
That's
did a
funny.
Jeep Badge of Honor trail that was less rough than that road. So I think we need to get a hold of Jeep and be like, hey man, this road,
Road 5.
Road 5 needs to be a badge.
yeah, because it was something else. But yeah, they've got something for everybody there. They
Some
really
amazing views.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, some absolute
Hands down.
gorgeous views, and
Yeah.
I'll get some of those up in here too.
They were really cool. You could see the weather moving in quick.
Oh yeah. Matter of fact,
Video
I have a
just
video
doesn't
of that.
do it justice. It's something you just have to be there. you
Yeah.
know?
So, but that's the gist of the park. That's kind of our review of the park. Did you have anything to say about the park? You weren't here when we first talked about it. You have anything to say about the park? What was your thoughts on it?
The drop-in for Rubicon Ridge.
We're not getting into that part yet.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to say about the
Yeah.
park itself?
No, actually, the gift shop was really, really nice. They had a lot of stuff that you need that you forget. I am one of those notorious people that I think I have everything. I go over it 5 times. I got everything.
Yep.
Yeah, nope, I forgot towels.
So did we. Everybody
So-
forgot towels.
So at this one, at the gift shop, they've got a wide variety of t-shirts. They've got a wide variety of, they've got soaps, they've got coffee, they've got everything that you would need to
Children's books
stay.
designed there at that park
Oh,
specifically.
yeah, that's absolutely true too.
And,
Very amazing.
And that's something else. If you're staying in one of their cabins and you're not cheap like I am, you can actually get rent bed linens and towels and stuff. But I was like, towels, I got them at home. I can bring them.
Oops.
I didn't.
Very
And
family
I will
oriented.
say one other thing about getting your stuff online. Especially if you're in the summertime and you're worried about being rained out, they have for like $30 for the weekend, you can get insurance on your stay.
That's just the cabins. That is
Yeah.
not the vehicle passes.
No, but if I think it's got to rain 1.5,
Inches.
yeah, something like that over the course of 4 hours, and they'll give you like $100 back. So it's cheap insurance. I bought it because, well, it's
It was
Arkansas in June. It's gonna rain.
They were
And it
calling for
did.
heavy rain.
It did. It did. It wasn't a bad rain. It was just enough to make the, trails muddy.
And it came in quick too.
It did.
But like you said, the gift shop does have everything. They also have
Nuts, bolts,
nuts and
Oh,
bolts
yeah.
shackles,
and stuff to fix minor
thing.
stuff.
Yeah. Cotter pins. The little squiggly pins. What are those?
Eclipse,
Sure.
catch pins. And family oriented, very family
Very
oriented. You
family
don't have to
oriented.
worry about taking your children out there and them being offended or things going on. Just
You
you
can
can
al-
go out there and have a good time.
And you can also rent side-by-sides there.
Yeah.
One thing I did notice though is even if you rent the side by sides, I don't think you get to drive them by yourself wherever you want. They set them up in
But
2 to 4 hour toured events.
You get to
Yeah, but-
drive one.
You get to
as
drive
they- as
it.
they
You get to
lead
drive
you
it,
in the
but
second.
they lead you.
Right.
Yes.
They take you on
A toured adventure.
Yes.
Yeah, and they take you like I know they take you down Rubicon Ridge and a few of the other trails. So
Yeah. So, anyway,
that's
that's
the park in a nutshell.
that's the park in a nutshell. Let's talk about the trails that we went on for the weekend. Okay, so one of the first ones was Snake. We actually did it about halfway through the day. Snake is
A 2.
it is a 2, but there are several options on it to make it a 3, and there's an early exit. And if you don't take the early exit, I believe it's a 3 after that as well.
It is. Let me tell you, it is. When we
So-
went up the first time, we made the mistake.
So I'm gonna put a link. We actually have a video of the trails that we did, and it is literally on the hood of the Jeep. So you see the first person from start to finish. I take out all the stops. I cut out all the everything. So you see the sign going in and the sign coming out, and and the trail in between. So I'll put a link to that if y'all wanted to watch that. But
Yeah, and as far as that's concerned, with those, the way we shot them was, like you said, off the hood of the truck, so you can actually kind of get an idea of what you're getting into.
you hear that diesel engine run.
Yeah,
It does
but
sound very-
like for me, when we go do stuff like this, I want to know what the trail is going to be, so I know if I need to expect body damage or whatever, because I may not want to take my expensive truck down that. And so no one else was doing videos like this, so we did. So if that's something, the style you're interested in, that's cool.
Again, it's not that hard a trail as long as you do the easy out. We did the easy out, so that's where the video is going to stop. It was wet, so I didn't get to do a whole lot of videos of the actual obstacle, the 2 obstacles. But it's an easy trail.
It is.
Somebody did get soaking wet getting us some good photos though.
I did.
That was later on. That was later on down. So that was Snake. All right, guys, Rubicon Ridge.
Yes.
This is the epic trail for Hot Springs Offroad Park. The most notorious badge of honor for the Hot Springs Offroad Park. And let me tell you, you put some work in on it.
Oh yeah.
I'll have a link on here to our full-length video for it. But Rubicon Ridge was absolutely awesome. I found it phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
The absolute hardest part of the trail that you can't avoid is pretty much the gatekeeper. So
it's a fun trail. It really is.
It really is.
Up until we did Bilstein Ravine, that was my favorite trail of the day. Because it had a little bit of everything, no matter what your skill level is. You had spots even on the bypasses where you had just that little bit of off camber, that little bit of a climb.
You might have a root rod sticking out here. You might have a boulder there. You had to watch for your placement. You had to watch your speed, your approach.
It was good enough. It was hard enough to where guys who have been at it for a while get something out of it, and easy enough to where people like Casey and even Uriah, I mean, he's got to beat up XJ that he didn't pay anything for, so beating it off something is not a big deal to him.
He sweated on it a little bit.
Yeah,
we turned no syringes, but he's put some sweat equity into that.
He was still very cautious, but both of them being inexperienced loved the trail. So I think Rubicon Ridge was a great trail for everyone.
it was.
You just have to pucker for just a minute to get through that initial.
Through the very beginning of it.
Well, it's not even the very beginning, because you
You're
come
right.
down that little deal at the sign.
Yeah, you got
And
about
then it's a little trail, and then up and to the right,
You
and
got
that's
2
where.
seconds.
you got about a quarter to half mile to the gatekeeper.
I will make a side note. If you are a passenger and your driver does get nervous, just be quiet.
Yes.
Don't pull my card. And
That's an everyday thing.
Don't worry, Uriah had the same thing going on in his.
Any final thoughts on Rubicon Ridge? Rusty, any Rubicon?
Loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Okay. All right. So we're going to go on to the next trail. All right. So the last badge of honor trail at Hot Springs Offroad Park is the Fun Run. Now, unfortunately, the weekend that we were there, we did not get to do it. Solely because I wasn't going to pay an extra $80 for us to go do it on Friday, and that's all we were going to do. I did not find it well worth it, and again, I'm still upset about that. However, the second day, once we got done with Rubicon Ridge, it rained on us. I hear and I see, and even the people there said, Fun Run is extremely hard when it's wet and muddy. It is a 5.7 on the Jeep Badge of Honor, and it is a 3 at the Hot Springs Offroad Park.
Is it?
Yes, it's a 3.
Yes.
Fun Run's a 3, yeah. Jeep says right here, Fun Run 5.7.
Okay.
Which, if it'll let me,
It's out of a 10 scale, so.
So basically, it's equivalent. The park scale is 1 to 5. It's right there in the middle at 3, and then Jeep says it's a 5 to 7, so it's putting it right there in the middle. So it's pretty equivalent.
yeah, 5 to 7 is moderate to demanding. Where are we here? So, you're looking at something that you need 4 low in at a 5, 6 and 7. Lockers and a winch are definitely recommended, and potential for some damage if you're not super careful and taking your time. If you're hauling through it, you're gonna scratch some stuff and maybe dent some stuff.
Yeah, but that's Fun Run. Like I said, I don't have any video of it, but at least you know it's there at the Hot Springs Offroad Park. All right, so
We got more company.
Yeah, we got more company. Hi, Ayla!
Hi,
So once we finished Rubicon Ridge, we did the Snake. We finished all the rain. We didn't get to do Fun Run. We did some other either lackluster names or no-name trails there at the park. What?
Let's see. Easy.
The easy trails.
The easy trails.
Yeah.
God,
Oh,
you guys.
from here on out, they're gonna be easy trails.
Yep, light day.
Minus Bilstein Ravine, which I already told him was a 3.
And
Basically, some follow the leader. We still had the guy that jumped on.
Power Wagon was a
Power
3.
Wagon's is it a 3?
Let's
No,
look.
it's a 3. It's a 3. It's a 3.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be easier than what I thought. It's Power Wagon Hill has changed since I was out there 15 years ago.
Imagine that.
Imagine that.
I wonder how
It's
many times it
rained
rained
since
since then.
So, anywho, we started off at like one of the super easy ones, like B1 or whatever, I think is all it's named. It catches another trail called Samurai Way. It winds through the woods a little bit.
Bulletproof Loop.
Oh, Bulletproof Loop, which turned into Samurai Way, which came down. So they have the big power line right of ways that is still part of the park. It comes out to that. There's a nice little downhill, and you come across, and then there's another one called Waterfall Loop, and off Waterfall Loop is Bilstein Ravine. Bilstein Ravine was a lot of fun.
Yes.
It's got some off-camber angles and whatnot, but came off Bilstein, went to, actually looped back around on Road 3 and caught Power Wagon Hill. Once we looped back around again, we caught Power Wagon Hill. That was another interesting one. It was a 3, and again, I wasn't expecting as much as it was. Power Wagon Hill is a lot of uphill, but you're talking 16 to 20 degrees, not a whole lot of angle. It's just loose or muddy.
It was definitely muddy for us.
It was muddy for us.
We had gotten quite a bit of rain.
We got rain that day. So, and that's what made it hard, is there is a lot of it is an uphill, because basically all the B's and I think all the C's are on the side of a hill pretty much. So a lot of it was uphill, and like I said, I misjudged it. It was a little harder than I thought. But it still wasn't bad. Uriah was the only one that had a little bit of problem, but he has the...
He still backed up and made it, though.
He did. He still made it. But he's got the open differentials with no lockers. He's still got plenty of power with his 4.0, though. So
God, that thing goes everywhere.
it does. It does. He did phenomenal.
When he puts it in low lock, most of the trails, he don't even have to touch the throttle. He's like, it
Had he
just
had a
pulls.
little
It just
wheel
goes.
speed initially, I think he would have made it.
Well, he
Yeah.
drug his pumpkin.
Yeah, he did.
We were hollering at him about that.
Yeah, on that one. So there were some ruts in one of the extra part of the uphills, and yeah, it sunk enough that Uriah
He
actually.
did not have the skid plate diff guards. So
None of
we
us.
had him.
None of us do. None of us have.
Right,
skid
but when we
pumpkin
see him
guards.
digging in with that, we told him to hold up. And I
Yeah.
think with a little more wheel
Well-
speed, he still would have made it.
I was the first one that drug on it. Mine's the tallest of them all, and you could see where I drug the top of that. But I mean, I've got the diesel, and it's got the Positrax, and I went, and it just carved it off. Uriah hit it, and he kind of did the same thing. He hit it, but he hit it hard enough that it stopped him because he didn't have the traction to do it. So, but other than that, I mean, the rest of the trails, if you stay on B and C, with the exception of a couple of them, are relatively easy trails for you to get out and learn on.
Yeah, I think C's actually got quite a few 4s and 5s.
But all the 4s and 5s, so on that, all the 4s and 5s in the C area are bypasses of another trail.
Yeah.
So, or they're added to another trail. There's a turn, there's a sign to go to it, but you can still follow the regular trail, you know, whether you're on C8, C10, whatever. So, but yeah, I mean, all in all those B and C trails are relatively easy, unless you're looking for one of those rock jumper trails, but they are very clearly marked.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that is something that I noticed this time over the first time we went. The trails are a lot clearer, a lot better marked.
Yeah.
Since whoever has it now.
I was about to say, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was actually bought in 22 and revamped to what it is now.
It was maybe one incident all weekend where some of us got together amidst the crossover of some trails and just tried to see where the trail went.
Right, so on Snake, there are several places where there are red tape, and it is very easily looks like they basically wrapped two trees with red tape, but some people don't mind the rules very well and will either tear it down, it could have fallen down, but they will drive over it and it will take you to a completely different trail, or it'll cut off part of the trail, because that's what we ran into some people that went through one of the red tapes, and they're like, oh yeah, we're on Snake, and I'm like, no, you're not. So it's whatever. But yes, if you see red tape between two trees or on two trees, don't go between it.
Yeah.
Stay out of the red tape, and you will stay on Snake. That was one thing I meant to add to Snake.
Because there was a few other ones that had some red tape on.
Yeah, there were a
It's
few other ones that
the
did.
rules of life. Try to avoid the red tape and enjoy yourself.
So, but I mean, outside of that, it was an overall phenomenal weekend. I still love the Hot Springs Offroad Park. I've been there a handful of times. I'm very, very disappointed about the prices.
Yeah.
So, any final thoughts on Hot Springs Offroad Park?
I look forward to going back once I get mine. I'm gonna drag you along.
All right, we'll do it.
Even though it is pricey, it's worth it to go get the badges if you're out hunting them.
Yes.
You will have fun. Just to get the most out of your money, you need to be there at like 9 o'clock, I think it is, when the trails open.
Yeah.
And they close at dark. So go in the summer so you can have all day. And no, you can do night rides with permission, but
With permission from the office.
and they only allow you on certain trails.
Yes.
Like the super harder one, like the hard ones, they don't want you on. It's mostly
Which is
the
understandable.
get to know the trail type thing.
I think we
Yeah.
did see one vehicle that did have a rollover.
Yeah, we only saw it on the trailer.
Yeah, we seen
didn't
it
witness
on
it,
the
but
trail.
you could see the avalanche.
But yeah, I think it was, all in all, it was good. We got to help some people who was having problems with their side-by-side.
Yeah, that was fun.
Get them lined out.
Got them aired up and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So.
We got to make a new friend, Scott, right?
Mhm.
It was Scott.
Yeah.
And his little,
Yep, he drove all the way up from Louisiana,
what did he say, Shreveport?
Shreveport, Louisiana.
Wheeled all day. Still
Yep.
had the paper tag on his
Yeah, he still had
Yeah,
a paper
Still
tag
had
on
the
his
temp
Jeep.
tag.
His Jeep was so new, he was running a temp tag.
Yeah.
But I love it because I think I did the same thing when I bought my yellow JK. 2 weeks after I bought it, I was at Hot Springs Offroad Park.
We literally asked him, so, what's your experience level? He goes,
I bought a Jeep.
3 hours and 27 minutes.
Yeah, when he linked up with us, his first trail, I think he said, ever was Rubicon Ridge.
Yeah, that's a heck of a starter. And he followed some Land Rovers too, if
Yeah.
that tells you anything.
It was one of those, welcome to Jeep life.
Yeah.
I believe I hear No Name pulling up now.
Yep, No Name just pulled up. So, any final thoughts on Hot Springs Offroad Park?
No.
You're good?
Yeah.
All right.
I'd ask you, but
You weren't there.
You stayed home.
Yeah.
Did, yeah.
So, all right,
Stayed in
guys.
the AC.
Well, that's our review of Hot Springs Offroad Park. We talked about some of the trails and some of the stuff about it, and Patrick's 40th birthday. Woohoo! So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye, guys.